These in a very long time. It's been a very long time. We used to do these like every week. Oh my goodness. So today is going to be just me talking about my hair journey. As promised, I told you guys I would talk about this. It's been a long time coming. This is an 11-year mark. We're hitting 11 years since 2015 when I was around like 14 years old. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this glory. I want to talk about my story. I want to talk about the struggles that I've had during these 11 years, just with dealing with myself, my image, my hair, and just the phases that my hair has gone through to get to this length right here. I am so excited. This has honestly been just a test to see if I would actually be patient and stick it out. I'm not gonna lie, there have been times where I actually second guessed my decision 11 years ago. I second guessed if this was the right decision and if I would actually be beautiful with this. And can we just talk about I'm wearing yellow. Okay, I don't know if I've actually said this on camera, but for literally like my whole life, I just never liked yellow. Not like looking at yellow, but wearing yellow. You just would not ever see me wearing yellow. Like in all of my videos, y'all have never seen me wear yellow until today. And when I tell you, so many people will tell me like, "Oh my gosh, you would look so cute in yellow," but I will be like, "No, just no." There was no reason. Like there was no reason at all. I just would not wear yellow. But today I am confidently wearing yellow. I'm actually on camera wearing yellow. Isn't that funny? That is so crazy. This has been such a year, just turnarounds and I want to talk about my hair. Like I don't know. I've This has been on my heart for such a long time to just talk about my hair. And oh my gosh, and the phases that my hair has gone through. So, um, let's see, 11 years ago, I was pretty much going through a crisis. The way I grew up where people my skin color, we were a minority in my neighborhood and at my school or at the schools I went to. And at my schools and even in my neighborhood, I would see a lot of people with straight hair. Like that was the thing, like long, straight hair. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining on. But yeah, I would just see a lot of people with straight hair and long hair too. And I wanted that. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm a black girl. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I'm a black girl. I want to have long, beautiful hair as well. And I went through this phase where I kind of just felt less than because before I got sister locks, my hair was just loose natural, like very curly. And this is my hair color, like this, no dye, nothing. Everything you see on me is natural. And I went through a crisis, like really going through self-esteem. And I just noticed, the kind of attention that these girls were having because, they had it going on. They had the long hair, they had the flowiness, like it blew in the wind, like all the things. And I'm in my preteens, I'm still like really young. I'm still young now, but really young back then. And I was going through it like, why can't I have that? And it's not really taught in my school, like my neighborhood, just my community, except for my family. Like we taught it, or my parents taught it, but it's not taught that black women can grow long hair. Like, okay, let's just be honest, it's just not talked about. And you know what? And when I, hi Kayla, and I remember like there's got to be some way that we can also grow long, healthy, beautiful hair. And so, like I said, I was going through a crisis, going through self esteem issues. Like, because of my skin color, because of the hair that grew from my roots, I just felt less than, like I can't keep up as the next girl. You know what I mean? And so I remember, so let's see, 11 years ago, I was 14. I was really hitting like a peak moment in my life. I was really going through it, like self-esteem issues. And this didn't all just come from my hair. Like my self-esteem issues actually came from a deeper root, which I've already made a video about that. But I remember talking with my mom, and we were all just talking about, like, okay, we had hit a pivotal moment with our hair. Me and my mom and my sister, we all were loose natural at the time. And before this conversation, I've had braids. I went and got my braids done, and not just braiding my hair, but like added hair, actually braiding my hair. I've had those. I've had Senegalese twists. I've had beads. I've had beads. My hair, I've had a perm. I've done that. And that was pretty much the last phase I was in, because I wanted my hair to be long and straight so badly. And so I told my mom, like, can you please perm my hair? Or some of y'all may call it a relaxer. Like, can you please perm my hair? And my mom told me, don't do it. She's like, it's not gonna be good for your hair. And because of what I saw, like I said, we were a minority. I just wanted to be apart. I wanted to look apart like any young girl would, right? And so she did it. Everything was fine in the beginning. And like I would wear my bonnet to sleep and everything. But I noticed my hair started falling out from the bottom up. And I noticed when I would wake up, my pillow had shreddings of my hair. Talk about traumatizing. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I ended up telling my mom, like, this is what I was dealing with. My hair is on my pillow. And she was like, well, it's probably because, like, this really is unhealthy for your hair. Your hair just can't tolerate this type of chemical. Your hair just can't tolerate it. And so we had to have a very serious conversation, like, okay, well, for your hair to get healthy again, we're going to have to cut your hair off. And my mom is a straight shooter. Very much so straight shooter. And but she was also like understanding, because she knew what I was going through mentally regarding like my self-esteem and everything. And to tell a girl that you have to cut off her hair, and she's already having self-esteem issues, that hit me hard. When it was one of those moments where I froze and my heart kind of just sank into my stomach. I was like, so you mean I have to go to school? And at the time, like I was in band, running track, like I had to be around people. And for them to see, like, it's a dramatic difference coming to school with braids, coming to school with Senegalese twists, coming to school with these different styles. And then all of a sudden, you have this short afro. Like, that is a huge difference. And little preteen me had to swallow that. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I cannot go. I cannot leave this house with short hair. I cannot leave this house with short hair, because I felt like it made me look more masculine instead of less feminine. You know what I mean? And so I was telling my mom, I was like, I feel like I'm gonna look like a boy. Like I'm not even gonna look feminine anymore. And she was like, that's not true. Like there are so many women out there who have short hair and they're beautiful. It I wasn't listening. Back then I was not listening. I was like, no, I'm gonna look like a boy. And so the day finally came. We ended up just letting my I had a similar situation, got a perm and lost some of my hair. Oh my gosh. We have the same story. Kayla, it's one of the most frustrating times ever. Like to have to face that, it's insane. So, we reached the time. Or no, my mom was saying, like, okay, this is what we can do. We're gonna let your hair grow out like your natural hair. We're gonna let it grow out as long as it can before like it can't grow anymore. Like we're gonna have to cut the perm off. So I had two hair textures going on at the same time, y'all. It was my hair, and then it was the perm. Oh my goodness, talk about that detangling process. It was awful. And so I remember the night came where it was time to just cut it off. Like we couldn't go another week, couldn't go another month. It was time. I cried. Me and my mom, we were in the bathroom, and I remember she was like, okay, I'm gonna go slow. I'm gonna go slow because I think she just knew. Like this is a very sensitive a part of me. And so she went slow and I heard the scissors. Okay. If you know the scissor sounds that I'm talking about, you know those little silver scissors, those hair scissors, getting a call. But traumatizing. Traumatizing. And when she was done, I remember seeing my hair on the floor and I think I just lost it. I lost it. I lost it. And I was crying so hard. And when I tell you, like, I just didn't want to leave the house ever again. My 14-year-old self, I really didn't. So fast forward, my mom introduced this thing called sister locks to me. Because she knew my goal. Like I wanted to have long, beautiful hair. Like I'm like, if these other girls can do it, like why can't I do it? You know? So she introduced Sister Locks to me, and at first I wasn't hearing it. I was just like, no, because I wanted something instant. Like I didn't want to have to wait on it. And that's kind of like my personality a little bit. I can be very impatient. I can be very impatient. And the things I want it like this. And so when she had told me about them, I was like, no, because it's gonna take years for it to get like this. Like when she was showing me pictures, she was showing me pictures of women who already had long hair, like their locks were fully mature, fully healthy, they were long. And I was like, I really don't want to do that. I didn't want to wait on the blessing. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to wait on the blessing. So my 14-year-old self is this tug of war, and my mom just kept mentioning it to me. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna go first. So she did hers first. And she started hers shorter too, but mine was the shortest. Mine was the shortest. I had the least amount of hair between me and my mom and my sister. Um, I believe I was the last one to finally decide, like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. My mom and my nana tag teamed on my hair, and the way we started them. So if anybody's thinking about getting them, I started mine. They were little braids, little teeny braids, because for them to be like sister locks, like be like this size. Can y'all see that? For them to be this small, you got to start them small. So we started them off with small braids because I told my mom I didn't want the fat dreads. I didn't want those. I was like, no. Honestly, I wanted the look that was most similar to braids. Like when you look at my hair, like honestly, when you see women with hair like this, you're like, oh, they have braids. But when you look closely, like they're really not. They're small, you know? I was like, that's the look that I want. And so they started them off with small braids. And my hair was, oh my gosh, so short. I need to just put a picture somewhere, but I put it on my Instagram story before. They were short, and I had to have the courage to walk to school. Brand new hairstyle. Hair is chopped off. I remember, like, I did not want to go to school. And, I went, and of course, I got all the questions. I'm just going to be real today. I got all the questions from people who just didn't quite understand. They were like, oh my gosh, can I touch it? I'm like, oh my God. No, no. Like, I already feel weird as it is. You know what I mean? So, but they didn't mean any harm, but just mentally, just as a black girl, I just did not know. I was already in a whole nother mindset. Just no. So years went on, or time went on, and my mom, before she started my sister lock, she had showed me, like, she's like, okay, this is a commitment. Like, if you're gonna do this, you know, we're thinking about longevity here. If this is the look that you want, you're going to have to keep these for a very long time because your hair has to actually lock. So, we started them off with braids, like I said, and like every month or every 3 weeks or something, when I would have new growth, my mom would take a crochet hook and she would just interlock my hair. And over time, it's so cool how our hair works, but over time, they actually lock and they form these. So, um, yeah. So over time, I'm getting retightenings and everything, and I feel like it took so long for me to see growth. So long. One, because I was impatient. Two, it's just a part of the process. When I tell you, it. really works your patience, especially when you have a goal in mind, you have a image. You know how we get those inspo pics with Pinterest? You know, when that's in my head and that's not matching what I see in the mirror, it was frustrating. And I was like, you know what? There's this ugly stage with Sister Locks, and they look ugly. They do, but they have to go through the ugly for them to actually hang down like this and actually be mature. And so I remember reaching the ugly stage and I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I've never felt more insecure in my life. So I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to do it anymore. And I remember talking to my mom. I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And we had talked about, adding in hair. And I was like, no, I don't know if that's going to look right. And then we were just talking about the other factors that went into it. And we just didn't end up doing it. So fast forward, I'm in high school now. We ended up moving. I'm in a whole new school district, no friends, nothing like that. And I have short locks that are in the ugly stage. And again, I'm a minority over there. And so I had a lot of people that just looked at me weird. They just didn't understand. Y'all see this. Imagine like it's like here. Like it doesn't even hang up my neck. Like it was like here. Some of my hair was stopping here. Some of it was like a little longer. It just didn't make sense. And so I remember feeling so out of place. Hello, Ava. I'm just talking about my hair journey today. Feel free to chime in. Yeah, so I had just a lot of people that just didn't understand. And I had people look at me just weird. And I cannot explain the feeling. Like when people like are trying to figure you out, like you have this hairstyle that nobody else has pretty much. Like you can probably count on one hand how many people have locks. I cannot tell you what that did to my self-esteem back then. And I'm like, y'all can't see the vision yet. Like even I'm having trouble seeing the vision and I'm the one that's in it. But, this journey, what I keep hearing is patience. And that's something the Lord has taught me over time. And, when you make this type of decision, this is not something like, okay, like I have prom coming up and I want to go get box braids or Senegalese twist or whatever. So I'm going to go to the hair salon. You come in one way, you leave another, and it's actually the finished product. That's not the case with these when you're growing them from your roots. You're basically committing yourself to a journey. And then it depends on how long your hair actually is. Um, I signed up for a journey. And like I said, 11 years later, I'm finally where I want to be lengthwise. And it really taught me to learn to start loving me for me and that my hair does not define me. No matter if I'm a minority or not, my hair does not define me. And as much as people may not understand, the looks don't define me, the comments don't define me. I cannot tell you how many times not only have I gotten compliments, but I've also gotten things that were just negative. Like, locks are ugly, they're so dirty, they don't they're just messy. Like all the things, they can be ugly, just like any other style. They can be ugly, they can be dirty, they can be messy. It's all about how you maintain it. It's just like how you maintain anything else. If you don't maintain your house right, your house is going to stink, it's going to be filthy. If you don't take care of your job, you're going to get fired. Like if you don't steward the things God gives you, yeah, it's going to have a messy outcome. And it's the same thing with hair. Like, if you don't take care of these, they will be dirty. They will be messy. They will be like, it's not going to be neat. But I can honestly say with my story, I've never had messy hair. I've never had dirty, well, obviously you wash it, but I've never had noticeably dirty hair. Like, it's the same thing with everything else. And when you wash it, you wash it. You actually use shampoo. Like, you take care of it. You oil that baby down and you style it. And, it really, like I said, it taught me patience. It taught me maintenance. It's it's a blessing. Having these is such a blessing. So, let me see. What else did I face? I would really say it was really the impatience part. Oh, that was something else I wanted to touch on. So, if I had to say, like, do I regret this? Not at all, because I see 11 years later the glory that the Lord has grown straight from my roots. There was a time at my prom, I was 18. Um, I wanted this ombre look for prom. And so that was the only time we agreed to add hair to my hair. But other than that, like we took those things out. No, actually no. I've had added hair twice. One was blonde, like brownish blonde, and then I've had red. The red was cute, I'm not gonna lie. Um, I've dyed my hair before. I'm trying to make sure I tell you guys everything. My hair was dyed. It was like this dark red. Not with it being this long, it was more like when my hair was this long. That's beside the point. But the reason why I'm talking about dyeing hair and adding hair, I'm going somewhere. When my hair was dyed, I don't know if it was just that color or just dye in general, but my hair did not take the dye well. Like it was really dry. And then when I had the added hair when I was in college, I was actually living on my college campus. I went to ACU in Abilene. When I had my added hair in college, I think I was just stressed out so much in college. No exaggeration, my hair fell out. Some parts of my hair, like I think individual locks from my root, like actually came out. Because I remember coming home from college, this was another trial too. My mom was retightening my hair, and she was like, I think she paused and she was like, "Is your hair falling out?" I'm telling you, my mind went to when I was about like 13, 14 years old when we did the big chop. I was like, what do you mean it's falling out? So I'm panicking and I'm like, no, like there's individual like spots in your hair. Like, what happened? Like, are you stressing? Like, what's happening? And I guess I didn't realize how much my hair responds to stress. Like, and I don't even remember seeing my hair on the floor. Like, it was such a surprise moment. Like, what do you mean there's ND spots in my hair? And she was like, Diamond, you have to stop stressing. Like, I think it's the stress that you're dealing with. And that's a whole nother video. We're talking about college life. But you're stressing. Like, you're gonna have to really like try to calm down, try your best to calm down. And I was so upset in that moment because I think I've I've stressed so much that sometimes when I'm in the moment of stressing, I don't realize I'm actually stressing about something. And I guess it was just at a certain level when I was in college and my hair responded. And so finally, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to really just pray and just try my best to calm down. So my hair started growing back, but we ended up combining some just because the way my hair was growing back. So fast forward, and when I was in college, I was in about like 2019, so that was 7 years ago. So now, without any dye, without any color, without any added hair, if I could tell anybody, any black woman, any black women, you don't have to be bound by added hair. And here's what I mean by that. And I know our hair can be such a task to maintain. Like when we're talking about washing it, and then we're talking about conditioning, and then we're talking about hair dryer sometimes, like deep conditioning, and we're talking about detangling and the whole thing all over again and having to come up with like different styles. I get it because I was there. I was there. But and to avoid the maintenance, a lot of times we do go to added hair. We go to braids because we need a break, and rightfully so. Yes, we do sometimes. Um, thank you, Josh. Um, yeah, like sometimes that's just what it is. That's just what it is. But I will say, sister locks, it's such a protective style. As y'all can see from mine, they don't have to be messy. They don't have to be dirty. They don't have to be this whole stereotypical thing. And when I look at other women, when I look at myself and where my mind has come, I was bound to added hair because when my hair was short, and I told y'all I got those braids, I got the Senegalese twist. Like I actually felt more beautiful in those moments because I had the length. It was cute. And of course, like the braids and stuff, they were small. I was never the big box braids kind of girl. I like this stuff. Like I like it small, nothing too much. But when I had that added hair, I felt more beautiful. Like I actually felt more confident. Like I was actually presentable. Okay. But when I look at that, if I'm depending on something else to make me feel beautiful, that's considered an idol. Because the Lord did not create me with added hair. He created me with this hair coming from my roots. So when I if I had to give any advice to any woman who is really going through it with their hair, they don't know if they should keep it short, if they should grow it, grow your hair. Grow your hair. It can be long, it can be beautiful, it can be healthy, it can be in a protective style. I'm an advocate for sister locks. And I thank my mom. My mom is going to listen to this recording. I thank her for talking me into this because she knew my goal. She knew the kind of look that I wanted. And honestly, sister locks, it's a statement. Being all natural in a world full of add-ins and transformations and changes, to me, that's a flex. And you're a woman of God, that's the package. When nothing on you is added, everything on you is natural, including your hair. Like when I go home after a long day, like if I go to a fancy event or something, when I take my shower and I do everything and I take everything off, I don't have to go to the hair salon and get this taken out. I don't have to dedicate a weekday or a weekend to take my hair out because I have added hair. This is all me. This is all me. Like, no pretending. This is all me. When I wash my hair, this is it. This is it. And I say this on camera because the wait was worth it. The glory was worth it. First Corinthians 11, verse 15 says, "But if a woman has long hair, it is her glory, for her hair is given to her as a covering." I believe that God gave women long hair for a reason. Now, obviously, there are other situations like sickness and things that happen, and you can't grow long hair. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you can. You can grow long hair. And it doesn't have to be this stereotype like black women can't grow long hair or our hair is always in a weave or you always see a wig on us or whatever. Fill in the blank. I can testify. Y'all are looking at me. No, not every black woman. No, not every black woman fits that stereotype. And, today, July 2nd, 2026, I don't want to fit the stereotype, not the worldly stereotype. I want to fit this stereotype. What the scripture says that a woman is. If long hair is my covering and if it is my glory, then so be it, Lord. If it means to be a Proverbs 31 wakes up early and tends to her family and she's doing her business, she's about the Lord's business, then so be it. It's amazing when you choose to be different and to not go along with the stereotype and to fulfill those labels that the world puts on you. You don't have to. You can be a black woman, beautiful black woman, woman of God, woman of the word of God. And you can be rare. You can be different. You don't have to be like other women. You don't have to. Like to everything is a choice. If you want to go get added hair, go get it. But if you want to go natural, go natural. Go natural. I'm telling you, like, I'm not a guy. But if I was a guy, if I was a man, I think it's more impressive to see an all natural woman than a woman with all this added stuff. Like all this added stuff. You know what I mean? Not because she has to have it, but because she chose to have it. You know what I mean? I think it's way more impressive. I think it's way more beautiful, especially when it's natural. It's natural. And when I have my baby girl, am I gonna force her to get sister locks? No, I'm gonna let that be her decision. If she wants to be loose natural for the rest of her life, so be it. If she wants to get braids, twists, so be it. I had it, but here's my line. Here's my boundary. Do not let that thing become an idol. Don't let that thing be don't let allow yourself to be so attached to the point where you feel like if that was taken from you, you don't feel beautiful at all. And you feel like that just took away from your beauty. And that's the same with anything else. It can be the same thing with clothes. It can be the same thing with makeup. I posted a video about that. It was a reel about I struggled with heavy makeup years ago. I struggled with high waisted skinny jeans. I'm telling you, you can tell me nothing with high waisted skinny jeans. And that was the trend back then. Like if you weren't wearing high waisted skinny jeans, like what were you doing? But I had an unhealthy attachment. I did. I had an unhealthy attachment with added hair, with weave and braids and all of that stuff that was not mine, you know? But when I look at what the Lord has taught me, like now you see, the glory was worth waiting on. He calls this glory. This is glory. And I'm not talking about sister locks. I'm talking about long, healthy, beautiful hair. This is what the Lord calls glory. And He gives, it's another gift. Salvation is the best gift. He gave us Jesus, He gave us victory over sin and death. But for women, He gave us this. And I'll never tell a black woman that she can never grow long hair. Like, I wish we would stop saying that because it's not true. It's not true. You have to take care of this just like you take care of anything else, you know? But, and in my final moments, I don't plan on being on here long. I'm already at 30 minutes. I just want to say, like, you really can do it. Is it a journey? Yes. Is it probably going to take like 5, 6, 7 years? Yeah, probably. Just like if you were building a business or if you were building anything, it takes time. Some things just take time. If you would have told, like, I was told that when I was like 13, 14, and those were words like, don't tell me it's going to take time. But now that I'm 25, I'm glad I didn't back out because I would have missed out on this. I would have missed out on the lessons that when you take care of a thing, when you're patient with a thing, when you allow God to bring the increase, my goodness, look at the results. Look at the results. I don't have to go to a nail salon to get my hair redone because I've had something added. This is all I need is a retightening. That's all I need. Every month, I just get a retightening and then I wash it. I do the normal things that you do with hair, and that's it. That's it. You know, and it's crazy because like I said, it's the same thing with clothes. It's the same thing with makeup. Like all of this is under the same principle. But I say go for it. I say be living in this world full of changes and transformations, be the one who's all natural. Be the one who chooses, like, I'm going to choose to be different. I'm going to choose to be rare because God made originals. You are an original. He did not make duplicates. You don't have to be like the girl that you saw on TikTok or on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever social media you use. Be you. And there's so many versatile ways. Like today, can y'all see that? I have those little gold like jewels in my hair. Beautiful. I wear the wraps, the little like lace wraps. I wear that. My hair, y'all have seen my videos. My hair has been crinkly. Like this is so versatile. It does not have to just be straight. And I love that. Like you can be natural and just so creative. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Jesus. And like I said, this video has been a long time coming, 11 years in the game, 11 years in the game. And I don't plan on going back. The only thing I do have something to worry, I get not worry about, but think about. So how long do I really want to go? Like this is my original link, my goal right here. Maybe to about here, and that's about it. Hi, Devin, and that's about it. That's probably about it. I don't want my hair to grow like too long. Cause then I don't wanna start sitting on it, and that's just gonna annoy me. But, yeah, that's my hair journey. If y'all have any questions, feel free to comment on this live. Y'all can do it now, or this is gonna be, uploaded, like, as soon as I end it. YouTube should just go ahead and upload it. Ask questions about my hair. If you're thinking about getting sister locks yourself, when I tell you I am cheering for you, I'm cheering for you. I got you. I just want to send you encouraging words in the comments. Like I said before, you can be a black woman and you don't have to fit the stereotype. You can be a black woman, woman of God, and not be the stereotypical woman. Like, you just don't have to. Like I said, to everything is a choice. To everything is a choice. Now, not talking about hair now, in all seriousness. Now, if there's anyone who has not given their life to Jesus Christ, I extend to you an invitation. Over 2,000 years ago, Jesus came into the earth to die. He didn't come in this world to live. It's because he was our substitute for the result of sin. The wages of sin is death, and not just physical death, but we're talking about eternal separation from God. That's the kind of death God is talking about. And he loves you so much that he sent himself in human form to pay a price that you can never pay. He was on the cross, he was a bloody mess. Ugly. Sin is ugly. He went ugly for you. He did. And when he died and when he was buried 3 days later, he resurrected so that your faith can be secure. All it takes is for you to make a sound decision, understanding the gospel, because there's going to be one day that Jesus is coming back, not to die, but to rapture up his church. And everybody who's in his church are born again believers who are sold out for him. 100%. They live their lives to the fullest for him, according to the scriptures. We don't know the day or the time that he's coming back, but he's coming back. I just want to extend the invitation. If anybody wants to choose Jesus today, maybe you've been on the fence. I don't know what you've been thinking in your mind. I don't know what has been tugging at you in your heart. I don't know. But I invite you to join Jesus, join this body, be in the church so that when Jesus comes back, if you're still on this earth, he will rapture you up with the rest of us. It takes repentance, turning away from your sins, not doing a 360, but doing a 180 and choosing Jesus for real because he is the only way to God the Father. There's no other way. There's no other way. There's one way, and he is the way. I love y'all. Oh my goodness. I love you guys so much. I miss this. I miss this. I need to look back and see when was the last time I actually talked to y'all. When was the last video? But I love you guys. Mm. I miss y'all, and I'm still praying to the Lord about what to do with GSIP Ministries. Honestly, I'm not sure. I know we were doing this like every week, but I've just been in the zone with work and school, and that's just real talk. Work and school, and I'm actually getting involved with my church, so there's that too. We're all just trying to figure life out. I'm still trying to figure life out. I don't have all the answers, Still praying to the Lord for direction. Pray for me, please. I am still praying to the Lord about many things and just needing his direction and his clarity and very clear instruction. I'll pray for y'all and y'all pray for me, okay? I love you and I will see you when I see you. Bye.